Hello everyone, welcome to Cybersecurity with channel. I am Daniel Rawat and I'm thrilled to be your guide in navigating the ever-evolving landscape of digital security. With over a decade of experience in the field of web application development, web application security, and information security, on this channel, we will dive deep into the world of cybersecurity, demystifying complex concepts, exploring the latest trends, and providing practical tips to keep you and your devices and your data safe. Whether you're a seasoned IT professional or someone just starting their cybersecurity journey, there's something here for everyone. If you're passionate about staying ahead of the cybersecurity game, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and join our community. Together, we will empower ourselves with knowledge to navigate the digital world security. Thank you for tuning in, and let's embark on this cybersecurity journey together. Stay secure. Thank you. Today's topic explains the major pain points organizations are facing to handle security threats, and I will cover the details to address them before improving its security posture. Problem identification is, after all, required before it can even start devising or purchasing solutions. As per the studies, cybersecurity threats will not disappear anytime soon. It's more likely for them to grow in number and sophistication in such. The current cybersecurity skill gap isn't expected to disappear anytime soon as well. Organizations without the budget to hire their own team can work with a variety of third-party providers. As per the studies, cybersecurity threats will not disappear anytime soon. It's more likely for them to grow in number and sophistication instead. Just as organizations strive to enhance their defenses, attackers improve their tools, tactics, and procedures. We call it 2TPs. Therefore, a combination of proactive and reactive defenses strategies is a must. The current cybersecurity skill gap isn't expected to disappear anytime soon as well. Organizations without a budget to hire their own team can work with a variety of third-party providers. These includes managed detection and response MDRs service providers and managed security service providers MSSPs. Companies can also work with software tools such as security incident and event management. We call it SIEM or SIM, and unified threat management UTM systems. One of the biggest problems cybersecurity professionals face is to influx of alerts. While gathering as much intelligence as possible on any given threat is the ideal, they also need a way to prioritize threats, separating red from gray alerts. Enhancing one's security posture today requires several steps and additional investments. Only with the right people, system, application in place, they realize overall network protection. Now, what are the major pain points any organization is facing at this point of time is the focus area is cybersecurity is one of the most critical issues that any business today needs to address. What many may not be aware of is that this requires dealing with several aspects. Three pain points in particular are threat volume and complexity, a growing cybersecurity skills gap, and the need for threat prioritization. So in the new slide, we will see pain points number one, the increasing volume and complexity of threats. The focus here is the battle between organization and cyber attackers continues to rage on. As long as threat actors can find security gaps in systems and networks to abuse and profit from, cyber attacks will continue to ensue. So there will be threat types. Over time, we have come to know many of the threats that pose the significant risk to enterprises. Few of the examples are cryptojacking. Cryptojacking is mining for cryptocurrencies. Remains a worldwide endeavor at the moment, even if Few years back, BTC dropped below 8,000 US dollar. Mining a single coin, however, can use as much energy as a small country consumes. That's why cybercriminals have taken to compromising company network for their gain. The result, an ever increasing number of cryptojacking attacks, IoT threats. Now, Internet of Things threats, as more and more employees use their own devices at work, the higher the chances of exposure their companies face. That doesn't include the security cameras and other smart devices that organizations add to their network to enhance their physical security or increase worker productivity. All of these can serve as additional points of entry for threat actors who are always on the lookout for security gaps to exploit. Case in point. And a recent report revealed a 55% hike in the number of IoT threats from 2018. Geopolitical risks. Organizations tend to lose more than just reputation damage when their network get breached. Apart from potential loss of customers and therefore revenue, they also face more significant penalties for failing to secure the privacy of customer and employee information amid stricter data privacy regulations. Cross-site scripting excesses. All software and hardware will have some vulnerabilities which cannot be completely removed. This fact could stem from the practice of building programs and systems without security in mind. Being the first to market with a product may be foremost in developers' mind, which may not leave them enough time for vulnerability test. This lack of diligence may be causing user grief in that they are left vulnerable to hackers and hackers with a knack of finding security holes, hence the increase in exploitation in 0 days. Mobile malware. Connectivity is a double-edged sword. The more connected devices are in the network, the more avenues threat actors can use for their nefarious schemes. Any significantly secured mobile device that accesses a corporate network is a potential attack vector. Moreover, cyber attackers are well aware of the fact, thus, the rising volume and sophistication of mobile malware. In 2018, the number of mobile malware attacks reportedly doubled. Activities, predictions from industry analysts and cybersecurity researchers all agree that business owners need to keep up with development in the threat landscape if they wish to stay safe from both known and unknown dangers, so that they need to keep on developing things. Given the constant developments in the threat landscape, organizations must keep up. They need to stay abreast of the latest tools, techniques, and procedures employed in the cyber attacks. With the knowledge, they can educate employees, thus reducing the risk that come with human error. This improvement is excellent means to avoid common attack vectors like phishing emails, spam, and malicious instant messaging that can put their entire organization at risk. Knowing what threat actors are up to and how they compromise networks can help enterprises beef up their security policies and guidelines. I believe reactive protection is not enough. Companies need to stay ahead of the curve when it comes to cybersecurity, which requires the right know-how and skills. That entails obtaining the necessary resources which bring us to the next challenge. Pain point 2, the lack of security resources. That's the biggest challenge at this point of time. Securing a network requires skillful researchers and analysts who monitor for and dissect threats to come up with the necessary fixes. An organization with a relatively small security budget and pool of experts can opt for all-in-one package such as SIEM. A company that doesn't have its threat experts or IT security team, meanwhile, can opt for hire third parties to take care of its needs, manage detection and response services. Providers who specialized in threat hunting and incident response can be considered by those who require protection against both known and unknown threats. And for their day-to-day tasks, they may rely on managed security service providers, MSSPs. 2018-2019 survey revealed that 53% of the organizations believe they lacked cybersecurity experts. Without skilled human resources in-house, detecting and blocking threat is next to impossible. A workaround for this is outsourcing. SIEM products are especially useful for organizations whose network is compromised for several disparate systems that run different applications. Of course, this may not be bulletproof solution, as like any program, SIEM software has its limitation. SIEM solution and similar tools such as Unified Threat Management (UTM) systems can benefit from additional threat intelligence sources to cross-check and vet initial finding with readily available data feeds and application programming interface APIs can prove handy in threat correlation, finding connections among potential threat actors, attack and malicious actors, for instance. Most times, a combination of right people and tools is vital. It is essential to determine the security provider utilizes all potential sources of threat intelligence to ensure their client safety. That doesn't mean they need to bombard customers with tons of logs that would only add to their problems. Instead, they need to help their clients assess which threat need immediate attention and which can be left on the back burner. Whatever solution a business chooses to bolster its security posture, it may be faced with tons of threat intelligence to shift through. Hundreds of cyber attacks per minute create massive amounts of information. A risk mitigation plan must make sense of all this information. Third pain point is threat prioritization. Identifying all potential avenues that attackers may take to get into a network entails sourcing through publicly available incident report and other sources of indicators of compromises. The more data gathered, the better. However, collecting information may result in redundancies and false positives and negatives. Data to be consolidated. The information must be normalized and aggregated to ensure a consistent format that any of the systems and solution in a company's network can use. Cyber attackers can use a variety of TTPs to carry out malicious activities while evading detection as well. However, connection can still be made if data comparisons reveal similarities in domain use, for instance. This process also deletes redundancies and inaccurate information. Cross checks can be made across sources to eliminate inaccuracies further. Only after this step can comparison and connection be made. The name, an email address, an IP address in a company, and other forms of virtual identification can tie attack vector to the actors behind the deeds. This process requires shifting through a company's traffic logs to see if any user attempting to access its network is in its list of IOCs. This practice takes time and may result in an overwhelming number of incidents that can't possibly be addressed at the same time. Security teams need a way to determine which event needs prioritization and which can wait. For this, an effective correlation process can help, especially about determining the scale of threat that are deemed the most dangerous by reports require utmost priority. Those with an insane number of attacks vectors can follow, and so on. Especially the bigger a threat is, the higher it should be on organization cybersecurity priority list.